Yes, indeed. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center. You can visit them at their newly expanded showroom at 5789 State Street in Saginaw or online at westsidedecoratingcenter.com. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show on this Tuesday morning. Jonathan Dent filling in for Art, at least for this hour. In a little bit during the 10 o'clock hour, we'll be joined by Larry Rodarte. He'll be filling in, and he'll be talking with Kisha Smith about the upcoming Saginaw Economic Development Corporation. Well, that's a mouthful. They've got an upcoming Small Business Expo. I think that's this Thursday. We'll hear more about that a little bit later on. But first, I'm joined by some special guests here in the studio talking about something that's top of mind this time of year, all around the country, all around the world for some areas, depending. We say good morning to Dr. Stephen Bigelow, the Superintendent of Bay City Public Schools. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Great. I just appreciate being called special this morning.
Yeah.
That's good.
And he's joined by Chief Academic Officer for Bay City Public Schools, Patrick Malley. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being here. So, first week of school you've closed the books on it. Another first week of school. How did it go?
Yeah. So our first week was last week. It was a 3-day week, and we're in week 2 of a 3-day week beginning right now. I'm pleased to say last week was uneventful, and for the beginning of a school year, that's actually a good thing. We have lots of positive news coming out, but as far as the issues of, buses and all the normal headaches, things have been fairly minimal. School buses are, for the most part, running on time, a little bit behind as they learn the routes. Things actually moved very smoothly. So I want to be careful. I'm not jinxing myself as we head into the second week, but so far so good.
Has staffing, we hear a lot about staffing issues, especially with busing. Has that been an issue in Bay City?
Yeah, well, it certainly was an issue. We just were able to negotiate a brand new contract for bus drivers, and we found that actually is helping out, and so far we have our routes covered. However, we're always looking for new bus drivers. The reality is, if we have drivers who go out sick or something like that, sometimes it's difficult to find a substitute.
Absolutely. So a smooth first week of school.
A smooth first week. That's right.
That's always good. How many first weeks of school have you been through in your careers?
This is, I've had a first week of school since 1998.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't want to do the math on that, but a lot.
I can tell you it's 25 years because I was born in 1998.
There you go. I don't like that.
Yeah, and like Steve, I went from high school to college to the profession, and so I can't remember a time when I didn't have a first day of school in my past. So
wow,
yeah, that's a good point. I mean, if I go back, I'm going back to 1980, so that is a lot of first days of school. Yeah.
Well, good to have some smooth ones in there. I'm sure there's some first weeks of school that you remember not so fondly.
Yeah, absolutely. Those COVID years were fun.
Oh, yeah. I bet. Yeah. Each year comes with its own challenges, its own changes, and there's a lot going on in Bay City. What's new?
Oh, wow. We have so much that's going on. I'm so happy to have our Chief Academic Officer here because he has been a major force in having some initiatives both at Bay City Handy Middle School and Bay City Central High School. So I know he'll be able to go into depth about those. If you take a look around our school district right now, again, we cover Bay City Western, Bay City Central, and we have a hybrid alternative high school called Bay City Eastern as well. Those are our 3 schools that are just spread across our 260 square miles. And then we have our elementaries and preschool programs scattered in between that. But if you head around our district, you'll find major renovations going on. Now, these are a part of some bond projects that have been in the works for many years. But for the past several years, there've been a lot of projects that had to be done and were very expensive, but people couldn't see. We're talking about boilers and roofs and those sorts of things. And what's exciting right now is we're at that phase where we're actually able to visually see improvements happening to buildings. Our auditoriums at both Western and Central have been renovated or are being renovated. Gymnasiums have been updated. We built a new gymnasium at our Bay City Western Middle School. New bleachers going in. If you drive by Handy right now, there used to be an old chain link fence that have been there forever. There's wrought iron and brick pillars there now, brand new track going in, new concession stand. So we're putting a lot of investment into the actual physical infrastructure across the district right now as well. And Patrick here was a huge part in updating the inside of the buildings as well with new furniture in our schools. So Bay City Handy was the first to get it. Bay City Western has new furniture and it's going into Central right now as well. So just a lot of improvements across the board that are very exciting. But the one that I'm super excited about is the work that is already happening at Handy and which is just kicking off at Bay City Central.
What's going on there?
Yeah.
Big reveal.
Right.
Yeah.
So while the pandemic obviously brought all sorts of new challenges and hardships to public education, it also provided an opportunity for us to have a long conversation with our community about what they wanted for kids. It was a bit of a reset for us. And we spent the early months coming back from remote schooling, engaging our business community, our parents, our teachers, and our students in conversations about the sorts of outcomes that they wanted our schools to produce for the students who were graduating. And unsurprisingly, that revealed a strong desire for students to have not only content knowledge, but also a set of skills to lead them into the future, to be employable. And also what came out of that is just the acknowledgement that to be successful after high school today, students need some sort of post-secondary education or training, whether it's an apprenticeship program, whether it's going to a university or a community college or the military. Most students will need a post-secondary education. And so, and I think we all intuitively knew that, but it was really important to have that conversation. And so we began working with the community to ask ourselves, what would the schools look like if we were to design them to achieve those outcomes, and what would be different, what would be the same, what would we hold on to? And then that led to broader transformation of the programs we're offering at Handy first, and then this last year at Central High School.
So the groundwork that Patrick put into this is astounding. He actually set up countless meetings with business leaders in the area. They would come in. I think you guys most often met at the DoubleTree, and he would call them in for a meeting and say, hey, this is what we're doing. What is it that you need? What are you looking for? And actually through that feedback was able to produce a portrait of a graduate, which is what we're using to drive all the initiatives going on right now.
Yeah, we launched the school year having the conversation with our teachers about not only what are we hearing from people, but let's talk more about what this looks like. If the community is telling us that we need to produce students who are communicators and collaborators, what does it actually look like in an academic setting? Like, how do we shape our schools in order to achieve those outcomes? And so the work at Handy that started last year, we're now entering the second year of it, was all about having students collaborate. You can't lecture students about collaboration. You have to put them in situations to collaborate and provide them furniture, frankly, that is mobile so that people can turn their chairs and talk to each other versus the traditional classroom we think about is that students are seated in rows and facing the front and listening to their teacher. But we know that learning today requires much more social interaction. And so, when Dr. Bigelow mentioned the furniture upgrades, it's been all around that concept of how do we align the spaces in our schools and how do we prepare the teachers in order to provide instruction that creates communicators and collaborators and critical thinkers.
That's great. It makes sense. You start with, okay, what do we want our graduates to look like? Where do we want to get our students, and then work backwards from that on how to support that. Wow. I'd like to hear more about that, more specifics on what's new this year coming up. We got to take a quick break, though. I'm talking with Dr. Stephen Bigelow and Chief Academic Officer Patrick Malley from Bay City Public Schools. We'll be back with more on the Art Lewis Show after this.
Start your day off with a bang at Sbarro in Standish. Our breakfast pizza is a crowd pleaser. Made fresh every morning with dough, sauces, eggs, and even the cheese being made in-house. That's right, no frozen ingredients here. So why settle for a boring breakfast when you can fuel up with our delicious breakfast pizza? Swing by Sbarro in the Forward Shell gas station on South Main Street and grab a slice to go. Don't miss out on the most important meal of the day, only at Sbarro in Standish.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Why would you pay full price when you know that you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? Check out our deals going on right now from Frankenmuth Aerial Park, Unique Floral and Gifts in Bay City, Daylight Outfitters, Cottage Inn Pizza in Saginaw, Music Mixology DJ Service, Nori's Restaurant, Mid-Michigan Garage Door, and so many more. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Best Buy is reporting an upbeat quarter. Sales declined, but not at the predicted pace. J.M. Smucker made more money than a year ago. Also, discount chain Big Lots says though it lost money in the period, its sales were holding up better than forecast. China-based electric vehicle maker NIO is reporting a disappointing quarter, though the company is expressing optimism about the business turning around. 3M's board has approved a $6 billion settlement of earplugs supplied to the U.S. military. Veterans have sued, alleging the earplugs fail to protect their hearing from noise damage. And Alaska Airlines will now use biometrics to verify your passport before you take an international flight. Your digital ID will be stored on your mobile device. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosolda, invested in you.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
When my daughter gets a cold, I have a secret weapon. Dayquil Kids Berry from Vicks. Dayquil Kids is specially formulated to treat kids' most bothersome cold and cough symptoms quickly. And the best part is that Dayquil Kids Berry tastes really great. Aren't you supposed to be resting? Maybe.
Dayquil Kids Berry. The Kids Berrylicious daytime congestion, coughing, stuffy head, stuffy nose, just for kids. Medicine. Safe for kids 6 years plus.
The WSGW Morning Team.
It's being called one of the world's highest speeding fines ever, about $212,000 for this speeding infraction. This is in Finland. How does that happen? This guy is 76 years old, by the way. He's a multi-millionaire businessman. Fines for traffic infringements in Finland are based on the severity of the offense and also the offender's income. Police can check instantly the income of whomever they're trying to check on because they have connecting via their smartphones to the central taxpayer database. That's kind of interesting. Now, what if we applied that here in this country?
Fines based on income.
Yeah. I mean, if this were me, I'm guessing I'd owe like maybe $1.25. It could be beneficial.
The Morning Team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
And we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. Jonathan Dent filling in for Art this morning. And I'm joined by some guests from Bay City Public Schools. We have Superintendent Dr. Stephen Bigelow and Chief Academic Officer Patrick Malley, and they've been bringing us up to speed on all the fantastic new stuff going on at Bay City Public Schools. I think you touched on it as we were talking about laying the groundwork for kind of reorienting after COVID, because COVID kind of shut things down, and reset, I think was the word you used. And I think that's a great word for, okay, here's a good opportunity to kind of figure out where we want to go. And I think you mentioned that you started with an image of what you wanted a graduate to look like. When someone goes through Bay City Public Schools, Handy Middle School, and Bay City Central Western, I do want to talk about Bay City Eastern because the hybrid caught my ear, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. You started with what do you want that to look like, and then work backwards and say, what do we need to implement in our schools to make that happen? And you mentioned it started with Handy Middle School, but there's also a lot of changes coming to Bay City Central. even with just the freshmen, the whole experience has changed. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, when we talk about Handy, so we're in year 2 of the transformation that's happening in a Handy middle school, and Patrick will do a much better job of getting in the complexities of it. But at the very most simple level, it's all about having students who are able to work together to problem solve, as opposed to the old sit and get where you're simply being lectured to. So it's more doing and less passive listening. And it's working very well. We started with the 6th grade this year. It's 6th grade, 7th grade next year, 6, 7, 8. At the same time, we realized we need to scale this very quickly into our high school. And what Patrick is a bit of a phenom in the area of early middle college. He was, I would say, and he'll I don't know if he would agree with this, but I'd say he was really a pioneer within Michigan in early middle college, which is the concept in a prior district, which is the concept of you can finish high school and have quite a bit of college done as well. So I know he'll be able to get into the details of what that looks like at Central as well. And so from a freshman academy to Central's early middle college, those are all things that are happening right now as we speak. So I know that's a mouthful, Patrick, but why don't you start us
Yeah,
out?
I need to address the phenom.
Yeah, I know.
Write that down, put it on the
As your
resume,
head grows
perhaps.
over there.
Yeah. No, early middle colleges have existed in Michigan since the 90s, and so there are certainly pioneers in that work that I won't take credit for.
You're the Mount Rushmore of
yeah, no. But the one thing I will take credit for is that in my prior district that I worked for, we worked with MDE and the Michigan Early Middle College group that's doing that work in order to apply the practices that exist in early middle colleges across the state to a traditional high school. So what do I mean by that? Typically, early middle colleges are high schools that exist on college campuses as a way to provide access to students that are underrepresented historically in colleges, support and opportunities to earn college degrees alongside their high school diplomas. So there were folks for decades before I stumbled upon the work who laid the groundwork to determine that in fact, these underrepresented students could be successful in a post-secondary institution if provided ample support. And so what we found, a team that I was working with about 10 years ago, is that the state of Michigan will allow a comprehensive high school to jump in board of this. And so that's what we've done at Central High School as well. When a student enrolls at Central High School in their freshman year now, they're enrolling in what the state of Michigan considers a 5-year program, which means that every single student there now has access to earn up to 60 college credits in addition to their high school diploma.
Completely paid for.
60 free college credits.
60 credits paid for.
Now, just to be careful, that doesn't mean that every student is ready to take college coursework early enough in their high school career in order to be able to get to 60 credits. But that is the potential that we are providing every student at Central High School a pathway now for a pathway and, importantly, additional support in order to earn up to 60 credits.
And one of the keys to that is you then are able to reach out to an entire population of high school students who may have never been thinking that they were able to do college, whether it's financial or they were just not sure if they had the ability to do it. So now they're given the opportunity to try some college coursework while in high school, and many of them, to their pleasant surprise, find out that they are successful in those. And so you're actually changing the life trajectory of students.
Well, and the important data for us in looking at this model for Central High School was that a third of Central students were already going to Delta College after graduating high school, but the vast majority of them weren't ever completing their first year. And so we determined that either, there's always life circumstances that result in students not completing a degree. There's all sorts of reasons that some of which we can impact and help and support. The biggest being finances or transportation or adult support, somebody that's backing you. And so we think that we can add a lot of value by providing that support. But also just a lack of appropriate pathways for students. And so in addition to developing pathways to Delta College, we're also identifying apprenticeship programs for students that just because they didn't have other options and all that their high schools talked about historically, and I'm minimizing things a little bit, but there's always been available paths, but we're just trying to make it really clear for students that if you want to be an apprentice, that these programs are also available to you. And we're trying to develop deep relationships with these organizations so that we can provide the support necessary.
Yeah, imagine graduating from high school, potentially with an associate's degree, half of college over, or you're able to go into a skilled trades. I mean, it's remarkable.
Mm-hmm.
And so those are the pathways that we're working on right now.
And I think it's really important. I'm glad you brought up the financial aspect of it because, well, this, I'm sure this course, this 5-year program has to be financed somehow.
Mm-hmm.
How is that coming from the state? Where's that coming from?
Yeah, it does come from the state, and it's the per pupil funding. When we have a student who remains with us during that 5th year, we receive the funding for that student, and that funding is able to go towards their tuition and also towards additional counseling and support services.
Absolutely. I think that one of the biggest things that I'm glad you mentioned was the apprenticeship programs and reaching out to all sorts of different avenues, because something that, this is anecdotal, but I think something that sometimes students struggle with when they're going to graduate and they're looking at, okay, where do I want to go in life, is exposure. They don't know what's out there. How has that been in developing this kind of program?
Yeah, I mean, that is key. Trying to form those relationships so students have not only somebody that they can go to or ask about what that career looks like, which in fact we're doing with this, but actually provide opportunities for students to try some of these things. That's equally as important, because think about, this data is probably old, but I remember a few years ago, the average college student changed their major something like 8 times, which is insane to me, but that's a lot of time and money. Well, now we're giving students the opportunity to try some things before they actually end up going off to a college or university and investing all that money in something. And we've got some other partnerships. Well, I'll use my own daughter as an example. At Bay City Western and at Central as well, we also see some heavy what they call dual enrollment. So kids are taking college classes and getting credit for both high school and college. And my daughter is now in her junior year. And in the morning, she's at the Career Center, which is through our intermediate school district, in a nursing program. And then she heads back to Western in the afternoon and dual enrolls in a couple college classes and takes a high school class. So she's getting some career experience, which, by the way, how great for her to find out she doesn't want anything to do with the field of medicine early on rather than later. So we'll see. I hope it works out. She's able to get the college credits done, which is a savings for us when she does move on to college. And she's also getting her high school credit at the same time. So there are so many of these programs that are going through our district right now. And I think what's remarkable with Patrick in this role is, while we talk about these programs, there's so much bureaucracy, especially in public education, that just finding the pathways and finding the routes that we can make this happen, it's incredibly time consuming and difficult. But so far we've been able to do it. And again, it's through a lot of trial and error as we've worked through this as well. And then Freshman Academy at Bay City Western. So we saw a need to really focus on that incoming 9th grade group and get them ready. And so that's something that's kicking off this year as well. So
yeah, it goes back to what we talked about in the first segment of the idea that that if our community wants graduates who are ready for post-secondary education and training, we have to make sure first and foremost that they're passing their classes, and supporting freshmen. We know there's a strong correlation. If you complete your freshman classes, you're more likely to complete your diploma. And so if we can heavily support freshmen and build that program up, then we're setting students up for a stronger finish. And so we're investing a ton of energy in just providing the wraparound services that students need in that freshman year to transition successfully, giving them a specific team of teachers who are dedicated only to freshmen, who are committed to freshmen, such a unique type of student in a high school environment. And then providing them early warning systems to identify kids when they struggle and respond accordingly.
And that's at Western, you said?
That's at Central.
That's at Central.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. And so, I think it's important to differentiate, because we are a large district with two high schools, that all of the opportunities that we're talking about, whether it be early college or whether it is dual enrollment, are available to all students in Bay City. What's different about Central is the expectations that we're setting. And those were really specific to the needs of the pandemic, because we realized that even before the pandemic, that the communities are fundamentally different, and that there's a shift that happens when you move from opportunities to expectations. You can offer students in communities, especially in high poverty, all the opportunities in the world. But because of the bureaucracy on the parent end, and if you're a first generation college student, your parents may not understand those pathways or how to access them. And so as a school system, we're trying to just clear up the bureaucracy and create pathways to the different opportunities that kids have at Central, just knowing that they have additional barriers that they're trying to get over.
I like that. We're bureaucracy killers.
Oh, I like that.
That's good.
I'll take
It is
that.
good. Yeah. Well done.
Absolutely. We got to take a quick break, but I'd love to hear more about that. I got a couple other questions on that, and then let's zoom out and talk about the district in general. All of that's coming up. But first, this on the Art Lewis Show.
Hi, Art Lewis here. And after many years in several vehicles, I finally get to talk about my car dealer, McDonald Ford, on M47 in Freeland. McDonald Ford wants you to know they are now buying cars. You can sell your vehicle by beginning the process by simply sending 7 photos of your car to joe@mcdonaldford.com. Photos must be of the front, rear, left, and right sides, car's interior, dashboard showing vehicle mileage, and a photo of your title showing the VIN number. Receive an offer, and you decide. Payment is on the spot and includes all paperwork and lien release. Don't wait. Put cash in your pocket today and tell your friends and family too. Send your photos to joe@mcdonaldford.com. That's joe@mcdonaldford.com. Oh, by the way, mention my name, Art Lewis, and they'll throw in a free lunch with the deal. McDonald Ford, 6790 Midland Road in Freeland, devoted to helping and serving you.
Are you tired of exposing your retirement to stock market risk? How would you like the potential to participate in credited interest from market index returns and limit the downside? Join Adam Howard for the Retirement and Income Radio Show this Saturday at noon. You can also call Adam now for your complimentary customized Safe Money and Income Radio Kit and Safe Money and Income Radio Book. 844-350-7233. That's SAFE. That's 844-350-7233 or SAFE.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is from Applied Training Solutions. You are going to get half off of a CPL class. It's normally $150, but you're getting this deal for just $75. A CPL class is necessary for anyone looking for the proper certification to apply for a concealed pistol license in the state of Michigan. And you must be 21 or older. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
The back-to-back Big Ten champions are hungry for more.
He's in the clear, to the 10, to the 5, tipped in, intercepted.
What a great catch.
Into the blue, touchdown, Wolverines.
Join us each week as Doug Karsh, John Jansen, and Jason Avant bring you every exciting moment from the 2023 Michigan football season, right here on your home for the Wolverines.
Michigan Wolverines football beginning September 2nd on 790 AM WSGW.
Broadcasting from the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios. This is WSGW.
And welcome back to the Art Lewis Show on this Tuesday morning. I'm Jonathan Dent, filling in for Art, and I'm joined by Dr. Stephen Bigelow. He's the Superintendent of Bay City Public Schools, and the Bay City Public Schools Chief Academic Officer, Patrick Malley, as well, the bureaucracy killers. That's the new name.
Yeah,
that's a new name.
Yeah.
I think that's, we were talking about it a little bit at the end of last segment, the difference between opportunity and expectation.
Mm-hmm.
When you go into a school and everybody expects the high school is just going to be the normal high school experience that our parents and our grandparents went through, the opportunities get missed. Whereas if it's the expectation that, okay, we're going to go into this differently, that expectation is there, and those opportunities, at least in theory, won't get missed as much. The freshman focus, that sets that expectation immediately. Can you you touched on it a little bit. Can you go in a little bit more in depth about what that is, why you're giving ninth graders that kind of support?
Sure. We just see alarmingly high numbers of historical struggles in the freshman year. I mean, it's a transition point. It's a point where students are really doing a lot of self-exploration. And so we're just acknowledging that that's the point that they are at in their lives, and that it's a leverage point for us to make sure that if we can get students to pass their classes and attend on a regular basis in that freshman year, then they'll be more likely to do so throughout their high school experience. And so, for example, if a student misses 3 consecutive days in a row, we want to make sure that we have the resources available to the school to make contact with that student and the family well in advance in order to figure out what's going on. And again, students miss school for a variety of reasons, and we just want to make sure that we're responsive to them and partnering with the parents and making sure that the kid is getting in school if the reasons are correctable, I suppose.
Yeah. You think about the ninth grade year, it's easy for some students to get behind. And once they're behind, if they keep getting behind, they're digging themselves a deeper and deeper hole that's more difficult to get out of. So we're putting a lot of energy on capturing the freshmen right away to make sure they never end up in the hole in the first place, so that they can move on and be successful.
Even proactively, we've built in a 30-minute period in the day that we call advisory, where we put the students in small cohorts and assign them an advisor, a teacher advisor, in order to teach them basic career readiness skills, even high school readiness skills, to have the culture conversations, just to build that expectation that we talked about, that this is what we're for as a school, this is what we're here to do, and this is how we do it. And so just being really intentional with, if this is what we want, how do we structure the school day to support that? And then what do we do when it doesn't work? I think is an important question that we're trying to answer as well. And we're talking about big high schools here, so it's not this is not rocket science. There's no no, I guess it is rocket science, but it's complex, right, is my point. And there's no unlike rocket science, though, there's not a clear scientific answer to how to do what we're doing, because it involves people. So it's much more messy, but we're there in partnership with the community, with the families, to make it work.
We talk about that a lot. We're not making widgets. We're working with people, and people are incredibly complicated and messy, and not everything works. So there's a lot of adjustments as we go.
And it seems like with kind of what you're building here for the freshman focus, there's redundancies in place. It's not, if one thing gets missed, if something falls through the cracks, there's something else to catch it. And I think a big part of that is having teachers that are focused on freshman students, because oftentimes if a teacher is teaching 3 different class levels, they're not getting to know those students as well. It seems like this is an outsider perspective, but it seems like they're not getting to know the needs of those students quite as well. And it just seems like a great way to respond. I want to pivot a little bit here, because you said there's a hybrid. Bay City Eastern is a hybrid setup. How does that work?
So Bay City Eastern, well, let me put it this way. Bay City Public Schools has had an alternative high school for a number of years, and it used to be called Winona. I am in my 7th year now in Bay City Public Schools, and it was my first or second year here. It was my second year in the district. I wanted to look at revising how we operate our alternative high school. And so we developed it, we turned it into Bay City Eastern, and it's a hybrid high school. And the idea is, especially first of all, my focus was not only on the students who were struggling, but also on the students who maybe wanted to accelerate and finish a little bit sooner. Well, we've kind of have some different pathways for that now with what we're doing with early middle college and with dual enrollment. So Bay City Eastern really focuses on students who are your non-traditional student and want to finish high school, helping them do that and do it in a flexible format. And so their school day looks different, and the number of days that they go to school each week looks different as well. There's a great deal of flexibility in that. They have some of their Fridays off, for example, and on those Fridays they're doing outreach and working with different organizations. But during their day in school, we have high school students who could be at various levels in mathematics, for example. So they report to one math teacher, but within that math class with the one teacher where they're able to get individualized help, they're also working online on their own math curriculum, going at their own pace. So they have access to the one-on-one teacher, but also they're able to move at the pace that works with them through an online curriculum. And so that program has actually been a huge success for us. We have about 160 students in it at any given time. And those are probably my favorite commencement ceremonies to go to, because what we typically run into are students who maybe they didn't think they're going to finish high school. And not only are they graduating, but we've seen several go into the military and also get college and university scholarships and go off and be very successful. So it's just, again, finding another avenue for students to be successful for where maybe that traditional structure doesn't work.
Great. Offering several choices. And
yeah,
you look at each different school, that one is not like the other, is what I'm
very, very
what
different
I'm learning
between the
here.
three. Absolutely.
Fantastic. Well, we'll zoom out, talk a little bit more about the district in general when we come back. But first, we got to take a break here on the Art Lewis Show.
Ready for a spectacular Michigan adventure that's second to none? Look no further than Treetops Resort in Gaylord. Tee off on one of our 5 championship golf courses. Indulge in delectable dining at our top-notch restaurants, or unwind at our luxury spa. When it's time to recharge, discover a range of family-friendly lodging options for every need. Treetops is your ultimate base camp. Book now at 866-348-5249 or visit treetops.com. That's treetops.com. Getaway perfection is just a click or call away. Start your adventure today.
3 little words no parent wants to hear. My tummy hurts. And it always seems to happen at the worst times. Like in the middle of the morning rush, when you still have homework to check and lunches to pack, and of course, you're already late for work. Luckily, there's Pepto Kids. New Pepto Kids gummies helps relieve occasional stomach upsets, turning those 3 words into these 3 words. I feel better. Bad time for stomach upsets? Good time for new Pepto Kids gummies. Fast support for little tummies.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hey, is your cell phone in desperate need of replacement? It's time to put that old phone to rest. Upgrade to the all-new 5G Samsung Galaxy, and you can get it from Pure Talk for absolutely free. Now, get a free 5G Samsung Galaxy with 2-day battery life and ultra-strong Gorilla Glass when you sign up for Pure Talk's unlimited talk, text, and 15-gig data plan for only $35 a month. Plus, it comes with mobile hotspot. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword SAVE NOW, Pure Talk.
Staples has big savings on everything you need for back to school or stocking up the office. Save on all your school essentials from notebooks to markers. Save on everything you need for travel, like luggage, portable tech, and travel-size personal items. Plus, save on signs, banners, and posters from Staples print and marketing services. And now at Staples, you can save even more with $10 off document printing when you spend $40 or more. Get everything for the office and the classroom for less at Staples. Ends 9/30. Exclusions and restrictions apply. See associate or visit staples.com/print for details.
The WSGW Morning Team.
The WSGW online poll, the best month in Michigan. We talked about this recently, a Detroit Free Press columnist having fun ranking each month as it relates to our living in the state of Michigan. This columnist said that January was the worst month and October was the best month for the state of Michigan. For our poll purposes, we're simply asking you to vote for your best month. Answers obviously to be very personal. You could be choosing a month because of a special event, maybe a wedding, a birthday, maybe even honoring a death. Maybe there's a social issue attached to a month, maybe something to do with sports. How about weather? So let's have some fun. Poll question, what is your favorite month in Michigan? Obviously, there are 12 choices, and you can make your choice, your vote, when you head to WSGW.com, scroll down the homepage, and find the poll box.
Your Morning Team. 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
We're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. Jonathan Dent filling in for Art, and I'm joined by 2 guests from Bay City Public Schools. We have Superintendent Dr. Stephen Bigelow and Chief Academic Officer Patrick Malley along with us. And I want to zoom out a little bit. I know we started pretty specific, but how is the district doing? I know test scores tends to be kind of the measuring stick where that's concerned, but how are things going in these post-COVID years?
Yeah, the post-COVID thing is interesting because that whole COVID experience was really a time warp. In
Yeah.
fact, I was watching the news this morning, and they were talking about COVID-19. I think, oh my gosh, that was 4 years ago already, which is hard to believe. I will say that we have been pleasantly surprised with our test scores, because we are seeing, I shouldn't say surprised, we're seeing an increase in the scores as we come out of COVID, which we should, right? I mean, that's what we predicted.
Mm-hmm.
We've been putting an extraordinary amount of time and resources into making sure that students who are not already where they should be, that they are caught up very quickly. And we've been successful in doing that. However, the scores, we still will continue to have room to grow. And really, as far as I'm concerned, the baseline is never acceptable, and we need to make sure that we continue to push that. So we are doing that. As I mentioned, I am pleased. What concerns me is when I hear districts continue to use COVID as an excuse, because I think that those days are over and we just need to focus on moving forward. So the ESSER funding that was made available to school districts was incredibly important for all of us, because that's how we were able to hire additional people to work one-on-one with students and provide some of that specialized care. So we've been very intentional in hiring interventionists who can get students caught up in key areas like reading and mathematics, for example. So that has been successful. The big thing that is going to be that school districts are going to have to watch out for, and we in fact have been preparing for this, with that funding is going to go away here very soon as well. So districts need to make sure that they get back to whatever normal is for them, that they're not relying on all these additional funds coming in, because they're simply not going to exist. So we're in that phase right now where we're trying to pare down a little bit and get ready for a post-COVID, post-ESSER world, which is going to be here very soon.
Absolutely. You mentioned, I forgot to ask this. I meant to ask it. I forgot to ask it. So I'm going to rewind a little bit here. We've been talking a lot about kind of the changes that have been going on at Bay City Central, some of the new programs going on around the district. Dual enrollment has been in place for a while. But if you see success in some of these new programs that are going in, do you think you'll start to move those out and branch those out to other high schools?
Absolutely. Anytime we see a program that's working well, we want to scale it to the extent possible. However, we have to keep in mind that what is successful in one environment or one location may not be successful in another. So we are constantly looking at that. And the reality with education, like with any industry right now, is what is successful or would have been successful at a certain point doesn't mean that it's going to continue that way. So we are constantly looking to pivot and make sure that we're preparing our students for jobs that do not exist yet. We talk about the integration of artificial intelligence and what that means in our world. So we're always looking at new ways to make sure that the Bay City Public School graduate is going to be a great employee regardless of industry and regardless of when they graduate.
And I think that's an important point to just illustrate the question, is that when we asked our community what they wanted from graduates, we weren't specific to school. And so we are doing work, and our teachers are doing a phenomenal job across the entire district, figuring out what does it look like to have students collaborating and communicating and critically thinking in grade K. 1, 2, 3, whether it's at Western or Mackenzie or Auburn Elementary, that we want our teachers to be having those conversations, but it has to look different based upon the unique needs of the students that are in that particular neighborhood, school, or community at large. And so while our plans at the district level may not look uniform, the direction is the same. Our North Star is the graduate profile, which we've created in alignment with the community needs.
At the end of the day, we want students who can look other people in the eye, shake their hand, carry on a conversation, and work with people even when there's disagreement on a common solution. That's it. That's the main goal.
Absolutely. So we talked a little bit at the beginning about some of the background projects that were going on, but there's some more visible upgrades and improvements going on around, including, I thought it was interesting that you mentioned the furniture changes. And I'm like, oh, new desks. I'm picturing the same desks that I went to school with. But no, you're saying that it's furniture to enhance the kind of cooperative environment you're trying to put into place. What are some of those more visible changes?
So I know you're picturing what we call the one-arm bandits, those heavy steel desks with the immovable desktop that's in front. So we have moved to mobile furniture. I mean, obviously, it doesn't mean as you're sitting, you're constantly in motion, but it means that it's more comfortable, it's durable. And the reality is the classroom, the shape of the classroom, the organization of the classroom has to change based on what the activity is. So it's the ability to very quickly move and change. If you want a standing desk, we have standing desks for people. If we need people seated and be able to turn to get into group work, they can do that as well. All with ergonomic designs and things to make sure that people are comfortable while they're going through their lessons.
And it's also acknowledging in our informal learning spaces, especially at the secondary school level, that learning can happen on a soft seat, that not everything has to be a hard wooden or steel chair in a school environment. And in order to make our schools feel like more warm and welcoming places, we have to accommodate that. And I think that aligns really well with post-secondary institutions. If for the last 20 years you visit college or university and it has that feel. And so I think that as a result of these upgrades we've been making, like these spaces now look and feel much more like professional learning environments or colleges or universities. And I think that students respond well to that in terms of the types of learning you want to occur, the way that they feel when they enter a space. I think it has a dramatic impact.
Well, I think that's important to. You can change the curriculum and the structure, but you gotta support it with the infrastructure that makes that possible. Well, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. It flew by. Man,
yeah, thanks.
This was
for
a great
having us.
conversation.
It was a blast. Really enjoyed it.
We'll be back to close out after these notes.
All right.
There's nothing predictable in farming until now. Pivot BioProven 40 microbial nitrogen doesn't leach, denitrify, or volatilize like synthetic nitrogen. And Proven 40 stays with the corn plant throughout critical growth stages. Start with Pivot BioProven 40 as the predictable foundation of your nitrogen management plan. Contact your Pivot Bio sales rep today to get the lowest prices of the season. Visit pivotbio.com. That's pivotbio.com.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain.
But we don't speak Spanish.
So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks. Babbel's conversational method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres? ¿De dónde eres?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish.
Estoy muy emocionado para ir a España contigo.
Aw, he just said, I'm very excited to go to Spain with you. Nos vamos a divertir mucho.
And that means we're going to have a lot of fun.
Sí. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
You wash your hands, you brush your teeth, but how do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, and germs. And it's why cleaning your nose, the body's air filter, is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less. But the biggest payoff is improved health. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
That'll wrap up this hour of the Art Lewis Show. I want to thank our guests, Dr. Stephen Bigelow and Chief Academic Officer Patrick Malley from Bay City Public Schools for joining us. Very informative conversation. A lot going on in Bay City Public Schools these days for this new school year. When we come back, Larry Rodarte will be joining us, and he'll be joined by Kisha Smith to talk about the Saginaw Economic Development Corporation's Small Business Expo that's coming up. All of that's ahead, but first the news with CBS for the national and international, then into the WSGW newsroom for local and state news.
From the premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. People who live along Florida's Gulf Coast are bracing for a hurricane named Idalia. The system powered up this morning over the warm Gulf waters. Forecasters predict winds of up to 120 miles an hour and storm surge of as much as 12 feet. Correspondent Christian Benavides from Tampa.
Idalia is expected to hit Florida's west coast in less than 24 hours.
This is going to be a major impact, and Floridians should expect this storm will be a major Cat 3 plus hurricane.
In Tampa, the shelves at this Target are already bare, while residents also fill up their tanks and sandbags.
The Biden administration's kicking efforts into high gear to lower prescription drug costs for Medicare recipients. It's announced the first 10 medications that'll be subject to price negotiations with manufacturers as part of its Inflation Reduction Act. CBS's Alexander Tin.
The list includes blockbuster treatments ranging from blood clot medication Eliquis to diabetes drug Novolog, all of which put together cost Medicare beneficiaries $3.4 billion last year in out-of-pocket expenses. Officials say they are hopeful that drug makers will participate in the process, which has already been challenged in the courts by a number of drug makers.
Lower prices could take effect in 2026, depending on the outcome of those lawsuits. A big city is paying millions to settle a suit brought by racial justice protesters.
Denver will pay $4.7 million to settle a class action lawsuit that alleged protesters were unjustly targeted for violating the city's curfew during demonstrations over the killing of George Floyd in 2020. The suit alleged the city directed police to only enforce the emergency 8 p.m. curfew against protesters, violating their free speech rights, even though it applied to all people in any public place. It also said that more than 300 protesters were taken to jail in the early days of the pandemic rather than just being issued tickets for violating the curfew. Steve Kathan, CBS News.
Classes are canceled at UNC Chapel Hill a day after a faculty member was shot to death. Students like Mackenzie McCallop acted quickly.
So we all very quickly, jumped up out of our seats to get against the wall.
A suspect is under arrest. Police are still searching for a weapon and a motive. California Attorney General Rob Bonta has filed a lawsuit against a San Bernardino County school district for requiring parents to be notified when a child asks to use a name or pronoun that doesn't align with their gender at birth. Bonta's a Democrat. He says it amounts to forcibly outing trans students. The Dow is up 67 points. This is CBS News.
You need to hire fast and hire right? You need Indeed. Their all-in-one hiring platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates efficiently. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Like our country, our military veterans are made up of diverse individuals.
I'm Hispanic American.
I am an Anishinaabe Ogichida.
I'm a biracial woman. And like America, there are veterans who are gay, like me.
Or transgender, whether on a battlefield
or in peacetime.
We served.
We are all veterans.
And we've earned our benefits.
Let us maximize yours. Call 1-800-MISH-VET. Sponsored by the Michigan Veterans Affairs Agency and the Michigan Association of Broadcasters.
Hey, is your cell phone in desperate need of replacement? It's time to put that old phone to rest. Upgrade to the all-new 5G Samsung Galaxy, and you can get it from Pure Talk for absolutely free. Now get a free 5G Samsung Galaxy with 2-day battery life and ultra-strong Gorilla Glass when you sign up for Pure Talk's unlimited talk, text, and 15-gig data plan for only $35 a month. Plus, it comes with mobile hotspot. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword save now, Pure Talk.
Every day, you breathe in thousands of microscopic germs, allergens, and viruses. Don't let these invisible invaders make breathing through your nose impossible. Flush them out with Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril around the back of the nose and out the other nostril, helping flush out all the nasty things that make you miserable. Nearly 4 million people use Navage to breathe better, snore less, and feel healthier. People like Cindy, a verified Navage user who writes, I've had such awful nasal congestion for the last couple of years. I bought Navage and OMG, I can breathe again. I love this thing. Goodbye, Neti Pot. Hello, Navage. End quote. If you suffer from sinus congestion, allergies, or snoring, then Navage is the safe, drug-free solution you've been looking for. Navage is at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and Navage.com. Navage. Navage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Live
From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Partly cloudy skies and 61 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. Police in Bay City have identified the body of a man found in the Saginaw River on Sunday afternoon. According to the Bay City Department of Public Safety, the body of 64-year-old Brian Vega was discovered by someone who was walking in Winona Park around 3 p.m. Police say Vega was last seen Friday leaving an adult foster care facility where he lived in the 1400 block of 5th Street. Vega reportedly suffered from dementia and was diabetic. Investigators say there are currently no signs of foul play. An autopsy has been scheduled to determine the cause of death. A car theft in Saginaw yesterday morning led to the arrest of 3 people. Police say their canine units tracked the suspects to a house in the area of Elm and Greenwich Streets, which the suspects allegedly broke into. It isn't known how long the 3 were inside the house, but a heavy police presence was in the area. The suspects were eventually arrested and are awaiting arraignment in the Saginaw County Jail. The Midland Police Department's Special Weapons and Tactics, or SWAT team, took 3rd place in their first ever Michigan SWAT Challenge earlier this year. The 13-member team was invited by the Michigan Tactical Officers Association to compete on June 28th, joining in events that test teamwork, tactics, physical fitness, and marksmanship. Officers participate in Midland's SWAT team part-time and respond to high-risk calls in the city and its surrounding communities. The department says the challenge provided a good reference for how well the team operates, especially since they were competing against full-time SWAT teams, and they hope to take first place when they return to the competition next year. WSGW News Time, 10:07.
This segment of Our Community's Care is brought to you by the Saginaw Community Foundation. For the month of August, Saginaw Community Foundation proudly spotlights Saginaw County Community Action Center. Established in January of 1965, the Saginaw Community Action Center's mission is to serve as a proactive and dedicated community organization providing programs and services to low-income individuals and families, helping them to achieve economic security. Their vision is to have a community where self-sufficient, financially capable members have the opportunity to thrive where they live, work, and play. Saginaw Community Action Center has a number of well-established programs in the community, which include its dental care program, information and referrals, minority outreach and advocacy, neighborhood environmental code enforcement, emergency services and housing, food and nutrition services, minor home repairs, and weatherization programs, to name a few. To learn about more CAC programs or news, go to saginawcac.org or call 989-753-7741.
WSGW News Time, 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. Heavy storms on August 24th continue to cause issues for Lower Michigan. Governor Gretchen Whitmer declared a state of emergency for Eaton, Ingham, and Livingston counties, plus the city of South Lyon and Oakland County. This is an expansion of the emergency declaration made for Wayne and Monroe counties on Friday. Communities across the state have experienced road and bridge closures, downed trees and power lines, damage to building structures, embankments, and road surfaces, as well as overwhelmed stormwater and sewer systems, not to mention the power outages that affected hundreds of thousands of people across the Lower Michigan. As Labor Day approaches, both sides are developing some serious strategies when it comes to a possible auto strike. Here's Autobeat reporter Jeff Gilbert.
While the union has publicized a list of demands, there's something else that remains very secret: what they're willing to accept. Michigan State University professor Peter Berg says that has to be a part of their planning, among other things.
How long do we want this to go on? Where do we think are going to be the squeeze points that are the biggest for management? And then how might we use this as a way to sort of get what our priorities are?
Berg says car makers are also determining priorities and the cost of giving in on certain things versus the cost of dealing with a strike. Jeff Gilbert, the Michigan News Network.
The search continues for a 63-year-old man who went missing after a boat he was on sunk in Lake Michigan on Sunday off Manistee. A 77-year-old woman died while 3 other people were rescued by people on another boat. Manistee County Sheriff Brian Gutowski says they're investigating what caused the boat to sink. WSGW News Time 1010. I'm Mike Percha. Now here's WNEM First Alert meteorologist Diane Phillips.
The sunshine has been nice, but for your Tuesday, we run the chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms. The thunderstorms should not reach severe levels besides some gusty winds. And this is all with a cold front that'll be passing through this afternoon and evening. So plan on that rain on and off through the day. Highs will be into the mid 70s, but behind the cold front, we find overnight lows right around 50 degrees and struggling to warm up tomorrow. We'll find highs just into the mid 60s as our skies become mostly sunny. Then we have a dry forecast as temperatures slowly rebound with 70s and 80s by the Labor Day weekend. You can anticipate that the humidity also remains low during this time. For WNEM, I'm First Alert meteorologist Diane Phillips.
Right now, 68 degrees at WSGW.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Good morning, everyone. This is Larry Rodarte. I'm here filling in for Art Lewis on the Art Lewis Show, and it's a gorgeous day out today. The weather has cooled down, and I have to say I really like the cooler weather. I love summer, of course, but the cooler weather just feels good, and I don't like it to get too cold. I don't like the month of January, as they were talking about months earlier, but I love the fall, and we're headed into the fall months, so it's going to be a wonderful time of the year, as they say during the Christmas time. But today I am going to be talking with Kisha Smith, who is an employee of the city of Saginaw, and she works with the Saginaw Economic Development Corporation. And I know many out there in the area are saying, well, what is the Saginaw Economic Development Corporation? If you're starting a business or looking to start a business and you're looking for funding, it's a great source. So we're going to find out all about that today with Kisha. And she's got a great business expo that's coming up this Thursday from 4 to 8 p.m. at the SVRC Outdoor Marketplace. That's August 31st, 2023, SVRC Outdoor Marketplace. And we're going to talk all about that as well, because it's the 10th year anniversary of the Small Business Expo here in Saginaw. So please help me welcome Kisha Smith to the Art Lewis Show.
Thank you. Thank you.
How you doing, Kisha? How you been?
Good. I'm doing great.
You are all over the place. I know we saw each other at the Grown Folk event that was in Buena Vista in July, and you're involved with putting on that, and you're putting on this business expo. So you're a busy gal, right?
Yes, yes.
So tell me, who is Kisha Smith? We want to know, who is this so hardworking woman out in the community?
Hi, everyone. I'm Kisha Smith. I am the SEDC coordinator for the city of Saginaw, and we work with small businesses located in the city of Saginaw. And if you're a small business and you're looking for funding, as Larry stated, or you're looking to take your business to the next level, or you're looking for startup funding, SEDC is who you want to see. So what we do, we want to be that resource. We're that hub for small businesses that are in the city of Saginaw, and you're looking for funding or any type of resource that's geared towards small business. You want to come and see SEDC. We're located in City Hall, 1315 South Washington, and we're in Suite 110, the Office of Management and Budget.
And I got to tell you, it's, through the years, I've had a number of people who have come to me and said, do you know if there's any grants or any money to help in a small business? And I think it's really important to find out about this program today, because we have a lot of young people who are starting businesses, especially after COVID, it seems. And, I know that they are trying to fulfill their dreams, and they're talking about grants. Now, this isn't a grant. We have to put that out there, because so many think that they're just going to be given money, but there's stipulations behind this, and you have to go through the gamut of filling out the paperwork and maybe having a business plan, and that's off programs that the SEDC helps you with, correct? Tell us,
Yes.
if somebody was to come to you and they had that question and they said, are there any grants in the city of Saginaw for somebody who's has an idea and wants to start up a business? Tell me what you would say to them.
I would say grants come along from time to time, but unfortunately, it's not all the time. So when they do come along, we do post it on our social media, Facebook page, as well as the city's website. But we do have loan dollars that we offer year round. So we have the micro loan, which you have the opportunity to borrow up to $35,000. And we have the macro loan, which you have the opportunity to borrow up to $220,000. And the things that you can use those dollars for are inventory, equipment, machinery, commercial property, or bringing your commercial property up to code. And so, although they're not grant dollars, I still say that SEDC dollars are valuable, and those dollars can take your business to the next level. They are loan dollars, but we offer the lowest interest rate. It's U.S. Treasury plus 3% for our micro loans, and for our macro loans, it's U.S. Treasury plus 1%.
And these are federal dollars that are given to the city of Saginaw, correct?
Yes, these are federally funded dollars that we're a sub-grantee of the CDBG program that's also housed in City Hall.
Now, are you working with, I know at one time, Delta College, there was an individual over there that would help with writing a business program. And I think it was part of the program of SEDC, or was it at Saginaw Valley? Is there somebody today that's doing that, or is that just through your office?
So, Larry, the program you're speaking of is SBDC, which is the Small Business Development Center, and they're now housed in Saginaw Valley School of Business, and they still have those services where they're offering business plan writing, and you can sign up, go online and sign up, and they'll assign you to a consultant that has some basic questions for you to answer, and you can get assigned to a consultant, and they can help you with your business plan and your financials. But SEDC, we offer a business plan writing workshop 2 times a year. Ours will be coming up in October. We do it in October. It's a 6-week series, and it's on the business plan writing as well as the financials. So we offer that service as well. And then we have a secondary course that's in May, usually in April, May. So 2 times a year, October in reference to Small Business Month, and then in April, May, we just do it again. Just because people are always looking for those type of services and needing help with their business plan. So again, we just try to provide some of those resources.
And providing those resources helps to, hopefully assure that it's going to be a successful business, because so many people I know have very little knowledge in regard to, well, how do I start up a business? They ask the basic questions. When you filling out a DBA over at City Hall, or not City Hall, at the Saginaw Government Building. And so I think this is a really good program that you guys have going, and it's again under the Saginaw Economic Development Corporation, and it's been in place many years. I sat on the board for it 20 years ago, probably. And so I'm familiar with a lot of what has taken place through the years. Now, there is a board that is appointed by the mayor. Is that correct?
The board is appointed. You have to sign up. So if you're interested in being a member of the SEDC board, there's an application process that you apply through our clerk's office. And then once you're approved, then you have to, come in and take the oath and go through the whole process of joining the board.
Yeah. And you're like, Larry, how did you know all that? Right. Well, I went through the process.
Good job, Larry.
Yeah. So, I did my due diligence to the city of Saginaw. But, really, kidding aside, it's a very good program. And if you don't know the first thing about starting a business, I would recommend anybody to go there, because they've got knowledgeable people with a lot of information, not just about, getting money to help the business, but actually they can steer you in the right direction over at SVSU to write that business plan, because that's so important when you're doing a business as well. And I just think, like I said, there's so many young people today that are starting businesses, especially post-COVID, it seems like.
Yes.
And, it's really something to see in our community, because every week I'm hearing about a new business. We were just talking about a new business that's going to tell us about the event tonight that's happening. That's for the vendors for this business expo that's coming up, and it's held where?
So we're having a VIP event, and that's geared toward all of our registered vendors who's going to participate in the Small Business Expo on August the 31st. So tonight at the Selfie Shop on Court Street, I believe it's 406, don't quote me, but it's where the old Guitar Center, the Fat Cat, used to be. It's called the Selfie Shop. Trinity Creations is also, she has a photography studio which she had for some years, and she had a desire to help to open up a selfie shop. So it's the first selfie shop here located in our area. And she's also one of our SCDC clients. So she came through SCDC and got funding through SCDC for the selfie shop. And so we decided it would be nice to highlight her small business and to highlight one of our small businesses through SCDC for our Small Business Expo, because we like to have a VIP event for the vendors where they have the opportunity to bring their business cards, come in, network, meet one another, make some connections. As on Thursday, they'll be busy working. So we like to give them that opportunity for our small businesses. So for the last 3 years, we've been offering some type of VIP event for the vendors.
All right. All right. Well, we'll talk more with Kisha Smith. She's from the Saginaw Economic Development Corporation. And we're going to talk about the Small Business Expo coming up this Thursday.
RocketGrabPlus.com. Why would you pay full price when you know that you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? Check out our deals going on right now from Frankenmuth Aerial Park, Unique Floral and Gifts in Bay City, Daylight Outfitters, Cottage Inn Pizza in Saginaw, Music Mixology DJ Service, Nori's Restaurant, Mid-Michigan Garage Door, and so many more. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com. RocketGrabPlus.com.
We're going abroad for the first time in years, to Spain.
But we don't speak Spanish.
So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks. Babbel's conversational method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish.
Estoy muy emocionado para ir a España contigo.
Aw, he just said, I'm very excited to go to Spain with you. Nos vamos a divertir mucho.
And that means we're going to have a lot of fun.
Sí. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
You know, I grew up hearing that women are bad with money. But like many of you, I spent years paying bills, managing checking accounts, and taking care of my family. So turns out women are pretty good with money after all. And now I'm taking control of my financial future by saving for retirement. It's never too late to start, and there's a great website to help you. Check out WeSaySaveIt.org and jumpstart your retirement savings on your budget and your timeline. That's WeSaySaveIt.org. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks open flat. Investors are waiting for the monthly employment report on Friday. Best Buy shares opened 2% higher. Its quarter was better than predicted, especially since it was competing with Amazon's Prime Day. Best Buy sees demand for devices improving. Discount chain Big Lots shares are up 17%. Though Big Lots lost money in the recent quarter, it was not as much as Wall Street was expecting, and it's seeing some modest improvement in sales. Its shoppers are pulling back on expensive discretionary purchases, though. 3M shares are up nearly 2% after its board approved a $6 billion settlement to veterans who say their hearing was impaired because earplugs purchased by the military from 3M failed to protect them. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Cosola, invested in you.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
Unions are popular again, but does that mean they'll actually make a comeback? I'm Gil Gross, and that's one of the things we're going to look into on the Labor Day special from CBS News Radio. We'll also look at Jimmy Hoffa and the scandals that led to unions losing favor in the first place. Also, we'll look at child labor, and on the lighter side, the job category that's growing you may have never considered, being a sports mascot on the Labor Day special from CBS News Radio.
The CBS Labor Day special next Monday, 9 to noon on WSGW.
Diving stop at short by Baez, gets up, throws, got him with a play. Javi Baez does it again, a mago.
The Tigers play 6:15 tonight on WSGW.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back to the Art Lewis Show. I am filling in for Art this morning. This is Larry Rodarte, and we have Kisha Smith here in the studios, Alpha Media Studios, and she is with the Saginaw Economic Development Corporation of the city of Saginaw. And they've got a great Small Business Expo coming up this Thursday, August the 31st from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the SVRC Outdoor Marketplace. And they've got all kinds of vendors that are going to be there. It's just going to be an exciting time. And it's their 10-year anniversary. So if you haven't heard of this before, I'd say come on out and see what the SEDC is all about. Because how many of you out there have actually know somebody or yourself was looking to start a business and you didn't know where to turn to? And the SEDC, I would recommend to anybody because it's a great program. It's Saginaw Economic Development Corporation. I want to make sure people understand that because so many people don't know what the SEDC stands for, but it's important. And Kisha's here to explain all that to us today. But Kisha, I want to talk about this Small Business Expo that you've got going now. How many years have you been with SEDC and involved in this actual business expo?
Well, coming up in November, I will have been with SEDC for 5 years. This is my 4th Small Business Expo.
Okay, so putting this together is a big endeavor, we know. And I think from what I see there's a lot more activity and a lot more involved in this one, correct?
Yes. So we definitely wanted to make a statement this year, just because it's our 10th year. And we wanted it to be grand. We wanted to be more of a festival feel. So we came up with the theme Taste of Saginaw.
Taste of Saginaw. Okay, so that means food trucks, right? And that's up my alley, right, Jonathan? Jonathan Dent's here, my producer, with us in the room too, and he's learning about the SEDC as well. What do you think, Jonathan, about all this?
I think it's great, and I talked about it a little bit during the break, which I broke my number one rule, which is don't talk show topics during the break. But I think that small businesses play such an integral role to Saginaw, especially when you go downtown, Old Town, kind of in the core of what Saginaw is. And I think the SEDC is a big part of that and making sure that those get going and get up and running.
Yeah. So Keisha, tell us about A Taste of Saginaw and what that entails.
So A Taste of Saginaw is our 10th year anniversary, and it's going to be held August the 31st from 4 to 8 at the SVRC Outdoor Market Pavilion. We have 15 food trucks lined up for you. Water Street will be closed that day from the Genesee Inn on to the Water Street side, right before the entrance of the parking lot of the SVRC. So Water Street again will be closed. We'll have a mural that will be painted that day by Miss Naisha and Devon, and the community can come out and help paint the mural as well. We're going to have live entertainment. We're going to have a band. The name of the band is Smooth Grooves. We're going to have Miss Teresa Marshall, who will be teaching some hustles that day for a period of time. And we are going to have Terrence Miles, our DJ, Mr. DJ Tools. And it's just going to be a great time. We're asking that the community to come out, bring your lawn chairs, participate with the mural. We're going to have kids activities. We're going to have face painting for the kids. We have games for the kids. And so we wanted to make it more of a festival type feel for this year, for our 10th anniversary for the Taste of Saginaw. So we're just excited and looking for a high time within the community, looking for the community support. Please come out, bring your lawn chairs. It's free to the public. Again, it's August the 31st, and it's going to be a grand time.
And you've got 360 photo booth selfie studio there as well. They're going to be taking pictures of individuals and selfies.
Yes. So before the break, we talked about our VIP event, which is going to be held tonight at the Selfie Shop from 6 to 9. But also, the Selfie Shop will be there at the Small Business Expo on Thursday. They're going to have a setup and have a couple of stands, a couple of setups, maybe about 2 or 3, where you can do the selfies. And so you can also experience the selfie experience there at the Small Business Expo. And we're going to have Miss Jerry Rocket with Rocket Rotation. She's going to have the 360 is going to be there as well. So we have a great lineup for you.
So wait, the 360 is where they stand in the middle and they go all around. And
Yeah,
I've got to
so
get on that. I'm going to get on that. I'm going to have my chef hat on that day, Mr. Petito, man.
You should. Yeah, so that's what that is. So you stand there in the center, and the clock goes right around you, so it's videoing you as you sit there, and you're kind of enjoying the music and just enjoying the vibe. So yes, the 360 will be there as well.
Tell me what food trucks you got lined up, because you said 15. That's quite a bit. That's a big number.
Yes, so I'm going off of memory, Larry.
Okay.
Of course, we have Mr. Petito Man here. He's going to be with us on Thursday. We have Slap and Slabs is going to be with us on Thursday. We have MD&H is going to be with us on Thursday. We have Divine Taste of Chicago. We have Honeys. We have TNT, Loco Taco.
Loco Taco. That's Joey Vasquez.
We have Delicious Sweets.
Oh,
we have.
I love the German chocolate cupcake.
German chocolate cupcake. I haven't had that one. I'll have to try it, Larry. But we have a whole host of food trucks and sweet treats for you. So we have a total between between the food trucks and the sweet treat eateries, it'll be 20. So they'll all be on Water Street. So you'll have the opportunity. You could just walk around, get you something to eat, enjoy the entertainment, and then come back, get you something else to eat. Just to name a few more, we have Myrna's that's located inside the SVRC. We have Cobb King, who's located in the SVRC, will be out with us. We have Two Heart Creations, and that's all that's coming to mind right now. But like I said, we have about 20. I know we have 15 food trucks and about 5 sweets and treats eateries. So everyone is geared up and ready. Know that we'll be expecting a great crowd out. So I'm sure all of our vendors and food trucks will be ready and waiting on you.
And you're having the Groove session, which there's individuals who are going to be teaching the Hustle 365, huh?
Yes, Miss Teresa Marshall will be teaching the Hustle that day. She's on our lineup, and she's going to do that for about an hour. And then we'll have our band. Groove Sessions will be performing for about 2 hours. So that's why we want you to bring your lawn chairs and stay and enjoy the entertainment and enjoy the festivities.
So all of this we've got going on there, a Taste of Saginaw, which is a part of the Small Business Expo 2023. And you're going to have information at a table or something about SEDC, because that's the main focus, right? That's the SEDC, the 10-year anniversary of this business expo. And the program's been going on a long time in the city of Saginaw. But Kisha has come up with and individuals have come up with a really nice program that will be happening August 31st, this Thursday, 4 to 8 p.m. at the SVRC Outdoor Marketplace. So that's really exciting. There's a lot going on there, and it's nice to know that you're going to have it right there by the river, right, in beautiful downtown Saginaw. Tell me, is there anything else that we're forgetting in regards to this Small Business Expo?
One thing that I know we mentioned, but we'd like to highlight, is that the mural, because we're going to have a mural design that day being painted on Water Street.
And you mentioned Devon Collins.
Devon Collins.
Yeah, he was on
Naisha.
the Art Lewis show about a couple weeks ago. We talked with him and John Vasquez. They did the beautiful Dear Mama mural that was over in downtown Saginaw as well. So Devon's involved again with another mural. How neat.
Yes. So we're excited. We just want everyone to come out. The mural is going to be a great experience, a great add to the Small Business Expo this year. We just wanted to make our mark this year with our theme, Taste of Saginaw, and Miss Naisha designed our mural this year, and Devon is going to assist her with the painting. But those in the community, you can come out as well and assist and help with the painting of the mural. So we want to highlight the mural as well. So there's just going to be a great time, a lot of great activities that day. There's a lot going on, so we tried to do a little something for everybody. So bring out the family, bring your lawn chairs, and just enjoy.
All right. We'll be right back. We're going into commercial. We'll be back with Kisha Smith.
Start your day off with a bang at Sbarro in Standish. Our breakfast pizza is a crowd pleaser. Made fresh every morning with dough, sauces, eggs, and even the cheese being made in-house. That's right, no frozen ingredients here. So why settle for a boring breakfast when you can fuel up with our delicious breakfast pizza? Swing by Sbarro in the Forward Shell gas station on South Main Street and grab a slice to go. Don't miss out on the most important meal of the day, only at Sbarro in Standish.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. When a restaurant closes, my reaction is, that sucks. They had good steak. When regional banks close or 3 of them close overnight, it freaks me out. This is why I have my own personal gold reserve. It's part of my personal protection plan. Call my friends at Oxford Gold Group. Call 833-404-GOLD. 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
Hey, is your cell phone in desperate need of replacement? It's time to put that old phone to rest. Upgrade to the all-new 5G Samsung Galaxy, and you can get it from Pure Talk for absolutely free. Now, get a free 5G Samsung Galaxy with 2-day battery life and ultra-strong Gorilla Glass when you sign up for Pure Talk's unlimited talk, text, and 15-gig data plan for only $35 a month. Plus, it comes with mobile hotspot. Just dial pound 250, say the keyword SAVE NOW, Pure Talk.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
Yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Staples has big savings on everything you need for back to school or stocking up the office. Save on all your school essentials from notebooks to markers. Save on everything you need for travel, like luggage, portable tech, and travel-size personal items. Plus, save on signs, banners, and posters from Staples print and marketing services. And now at Staples, you can save even more with $10 off document printing when you spend $40 or more. Get everything for the office and the classroom for less at Staples. Ends 9/30. Exclusions and restrictions apply. See associate or visit staples.com/print for details.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
This is the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of WSGW.
Welcome back and good morning. This is Larry Rodarte. I'm filling in for Art Lewis on the Art Lewis Show this morning. And we've got Kisha Smith from the Saginaw Economic Development Corporation with the city of Saginaw. Kisha, tell me, what else does SEDC do? In the break, we were talking about programs that you're also involved with. So tell us a little bit more about the SEDC.
Well, I'd like to say that the SEDC is like a one-stop shop for small businesses. If you're a small business and you're looking for some resources, you're looking for some funding, you're just looking for some assistance, you're looking for some direction, we're definitely the place to be. We offer different types of workshops during the year. We've done the pop-up shop. Ms. Avis Gaines from Little Mama's Catering has taught our class for that one, and it's teaching you the proper way to set up for a pop-up shop if you're a food vendor. So there's just a lot of different things that SEDC offers. We offer the small business plan writing workshop, which will be coming up in October, and then again in April. We've offered Serve Safe during the pandemic. We had a couple of those classes where you can get Serve Safe certified. So we just try to find different avenues and resources and things that could be viable to the small business community, and send those resources out and be that resource center for the small businesses located in the city.
And that's all through City Hall. Your office is over on Washington. Where's your office located, and how, if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, would they get a hold of you?
So we're housed in City Hall, 1315 South Washington. I'm there Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And on Wednesdays, we have an office in the CMURC Center, which is located inside the SVRC Marketplace on the second floor. So every Wednesday, we're at CMURC from 8 to 4:30.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. That's great information. How has the turnout been for like the past Small Business Expos?
Well, it's been growing and growing and growing every year, Larry. So we've exceeded our goal this year. My goal this year was 15 food trucks. So that was great. Last year we had about 50. This year we're up to 70 between the food trucks and the vendors. We have 70. And so each year the Small Business Expo is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So we're just excited that we're making that impression upon the community, and that our small businesses are coming out to join us and support.
And there's a lot that are out there that have seeked advice, I think, from SEDC through the years. And I know we were talking about Robbie Dees. He was on my program on Mi Gente on Air on Sunday night. And he actually went through SEDC for information that he used, but he actually ended up getting the loan from a bank.
Yes,
But you also provide those services. You don't necessarily have to get the loan from SEDC, but you provide that service of leading up to it and preparing somebody who may be looking to get a loan to start a business. But you also have at good interest rates, right? The actual loan that can be provided to these businesses. So it's a really good, important program, and I think it needs to be out there more. We need to talk about it more so that people understand. Because I know, like what I, as a publisher of Mi Gente magazine, a lot of in my community would ask me, like I said in the beginning of the program, are there grants out there, or do you know of a way where we can get a loan for a small business? And many times I would refer them to the SEDC. And I know through the years there have been, businesses that I knew personally that benefited from SEDC. So it's a really good program. And so anybody who has somebody out there, let's keep Kisha busy out there in her job and send them over to SEDC, even if it's just to ask questions.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So like I said before, what is it that if somebody were to come to your office and say, I want to look at a small business, what would you tell them again?
I would tell them that SEDC, I kind of take them through the process and let them know, first of all, we do need a business plan. We need some basic things like a resume. You need an LLC or however you're going to have your business incorporated. You need your EIN. And so we take them through our checklist and show them everything that you need for SEDC funding. But also this prepares you for funding if you go elsewhere, if you go to a traditional bank or something of that nature. So we just try to prepare our small businesses to take that hobby or that thing that they just love to do or to the next level and solidify it as an actual small business. So
and make sure they go over to Vanessa Guerra's office, the Saginaw clerk, to put a DBA in as doing business as.
Yes. You can have a DBA as well, or an LLC or an S Corp, or however you choose to incorporate your business. But you do want to establish it in some way.
Yeah. Well, we will be right back here talking more with Kisha Smith from the SEDC.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
You can host the best backyard barbecue. You find a professional on Angie to make your backyard the best around. Connect with skilled professionals to get all your home projects done well. Inside to outside, repairs to renovations. Get started on the Angie app or visit Angie.com today. You can do this when you Angie that.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is from Applied Training Solutions. You are going to get half off of a CPL class. It's normally $150, but you're getting this deal for just $75. A CPL class is necessary for anyone looking for the proper certification to apply for a concealed pistol license in the state of Michigan. And you must be 21 or older. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now to snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Paid for by government.com. Have you heard? Morgan's silver dollars are back for 2023. For the 100th anniversary, the U.S. Mint released the first legal tender Morgans in 100 years. They sold out instantly. Now, Morgan's silver dollars are back in 2023, minted in 99.9% pure silver, but only 275,000 coins were minted, and they will go fast. The entire market and experts agree this is a big deal and an amazing opportunity for both coin and silver buyers. Just call 1-800-859-1518 and you are guaranteed a 2023 brand new uncirculated 99.9% pure silver Morgan dollar. But with limited quantities, you must call now. To learn more, call 1-800-859-1518. Plus, you'll receive a free bonus Patriots pack, new and improved, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-859-1518 now to secure your new 2023 Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-859-1518.
Ron had a tax problem he just couldn't handle on his own.
I owed the IRS taxes for over 5 years, but I didn't have any money to pay the taxes.
Those years cost him dearly.
Most of it was fees and interest. It was horrible.
Ron finally called in the pros.
I called Optima Tax Relief, and boy, am I happy I did.
The leading tax resolution firm, Optima, is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau. They've resolved over $1 billion for their clients. Ron was overjoyed.
They settled my account with IRS. I was ecstatic. They are a lifesaver. They are. I am so happy.
Take Ron's advice and call Optima now for a free consultation.
Yeah, don't do like I did and wait. Call Optima Tax Relief. Do it now. You'll be ecstatic like me.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Good morning. Welcome back. I'm Larry Rodarte. I'm filling in for Art Lewis on the Art Lewis Show, and it has been a pleasure to be here today. It's gone really fast, and I have Kisha Smith, who is with the Saginaw Economic Development Corporation, and I hope with this show that we have a lot more understanding of what the SEDC does in Saginaw. And this Thursday, there's going to be the Taste of Saginaw Small Business Expo 2023. Which is from 4 to 8 p.m. at the SVRC Outdoor Marketplace. And there's going to be vendors, food trucks, live entertainment, a groove session where they're going to be doing the Hustle 365, kids activities, face painting, lawn games, sidewalk chalk. There's going to be live street mural painting with 2 artists from Saginaw. And there's going to be a 360 photo booth selfie studio to take your selfie there at this event. So, Kisha, any last words before we go out? And tell me, what are you excited about?
Wow. I'm just excited about the 10th year. Our theme this year, Taste of Saginaw. As Larry stated, it's going to be from 4 to 8, August the 31st. This Thursday from 4 to 8 at the SVRC Outdoor Market Pavilion. We are just looking for our community to come out, support, have a good time, come taste and see what Saginaw is all about. It definitely will be a taste of Saginaw within our community. We're going to have food trucks lined up on Water Street. The street will be closed. And we're just asking you to bring your lawn chairs, come, get excited, enjoy the entertainment, and just have a great time.
Now, will the SVRC actually be open at that time inside, or is this?
Yes, because the SVRC, that's not one of the normal days that they're open, because they're open Wednesday through Saturday. And so they will be open until 6 o'clock.
Okay. And so then this event is during that time, 4 to 8 p.m. So 2 hours where the food trucks will be the food source. At that point.
Yes.
Yeah.
And some of their vendors will be outside with us as well. So if they're not on the inside, they'll be on the outside. And maybe potentially we may have some of the other food vendors to come out and join us as well. We're kind of working on that. Haven't solidified it as of yet, but
I have a quick question if I can hop in here. We're talking about food trucks with the Taste of Saginaw, and something that I find great. We've talked with a lot of food truck owners on Mi Gente on Air. Something that I find great, especially about here in Saginaw, is a lot of these food truck owners. One, there's a huge variety. So when you say a Taste of Saginaw and you're talking food trucks, there's everything. It is a taste of every possible thing you could get in Saginaw. But two, they often go from a food truck to a brick and mortar, or from the SVRC marketplace to a brick and mortar. How does the SEDC help with that process?
And so we help with that process the same as we do if you're just a brick and mortar, if you're not a food truck first. But if you're a food truck, or you're a mobile food service vendor, we still take you through the process. You get your business plan done, get your financials, and you can still come to us and get funding and become one of our SEDC clients.
Have you seen that happen often?
Well, we had one, I would say, who was mobile, did pop-ups. I would say El Ferlito. El Ferlito originally had a brick and mortar, and then they kind of drifted away a little bit. So then they decided to come back. They were doing only pop-ups and events and stuff like that in the community. And they decided to get a brick and mortar. Well, not a brick and mortar, but they're in the SVRC marketplace. And so they came to SEDC and they got funding to open up that shop inside of the SVRC.
Yeah, and I remember when Tony, this is one of the first vendors that was going to be in SVRC. It was Tony Garza and Betty Garza, the family of El Farolito, and I helped him with his menu and the graphics design of it, as well as in the advertisement. And the funding that I got for that service was through SEDC. So it works all around to help, in the promotion of a business to get it started, as well as to, see it successful. So it really is a good service, SEDC. And I'm so glad that we had the opportunity today to talk about it. It was something that was dear to my heart many years ago when I was on the board, because I seen what it was doing for individuals in the community that were business entrepreneurs. And I sat on the board probably about 3 to 5 years, I'm not sure. And so I'm glad to see that it's still in existence. And as Kisha and I were talking, it's been in existence for about 50 years in the city of Saginaw. So it really is a great event. And if you want to know anything else about it, you got questions or whatever, please come to the Taste of Saginaw Business Expo. Kisha will be there, and I'm sure other individuals that will talk about what SEDC can do to help you and your loved one if you're looking to start a business, right?
Yes, definitely. So we'll have a station. SEDC will have a booth. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're looking for more information on SEDC or opening a business or starting a business, we have some resources there, as well as a booth, so you can stop by. We would like everyone to stop by the SEDC table. We're going to be giving away some raffles that day, so you definitely want to visit us. Get your raffle ticket so you can be in for the raffle, as well as receive some resourceful information on SEDC.
All right. Well, it's been a real pleasure, Kisha Smith. Thank you for coming in today from the SEDC, from the city of Saginaw. And it has been a real pleasure to be here as well, filling in for Art Lewis. I'm Larry Rodarte, and we'll be right back.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hey, it's Jesse Kelly. When a restaurant closes, my reaction is, that sucks. They had good steak. When regional banks close, or 3 of them close overnight, it freaks me out. This is why I have my own personal gold reserve. It's part of my personal protection plan. Call my friends at Oxford Gold Group. Call 833-404-GOLD. 833-404-GOLD. That's 833-404-GOLD.
Welcome back. It's a wrap for this edition of the Art Lewis Show. Once again, I'm Larry Rodarte. We thank you for joining us this morning, and we thank our guest, Kisha Smith, for speaking with us about the SED's upcoming expo. It's going to be happening this Thursday, August 31st from 4 to 8 p.m. at the SVRC Marketplace. Up next is the Focus program.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW.